Okay, baby girl, this podcast episode is going to be weirdly specific. If you've ever been heartbroken in exam season, this is the exact playbook of how to get over it. And let's get to the facts. You're heartbroken, it's exam season, you have shit to do. Let me guess, you're crying between flashcards, rereading the same sentence. You feel like you're gonna fail, but you don't care anymore because that boy is on your mind. And that boy is the most important thing to you at this moment, that so much so that this exam doesn't even matter anymore. Number one, acknowledge that you're in crisis mode. I think that as girls, we get so wrapped up in our head that we forget what is real and what is not. And then we lose sight of the situation. We lose sight of what we actually have to do because our feelings are so strong. And you know what? Who could blame us? Do you know how many hormones we have in this little body? Yeah. It's fucking terrible. Especially if you're like hypersensitive like me. I cry over every damn thing. You need to acknowledge that you're not weak and literally validate yourself. When you break up, you lose your entire support system. You lose everyone that you basically had. Especially if you made the mistake of letting all your friends go over a boy. You lose everyone in your life. That man was your best friend. And now he's gone. And you know what? They do say that heartbreak is the same as quitting drugs. You know, you see those crackheads on the street, you know how they be behaving? That's you right now. What you're not gonna do is blame yourself and tell yourself that you're stupid or weak for experiencing this pain. You're not. You're literally experiencing drug withdrawal, baby girl. So stop beating yourself up for not being productive, for not getting shit done. What we're gonna do is be tough on ourselves, but we're not gonna be psychopaths about it. First, we're gonna validate and be kind, and then we're gonna get into the brutal shit. Also, heartbreak activates the same pain receptors in your body as actual physical pain. You can literally feel your heart breaking into several pieces in real time. That's no joke. Also gonna mess with your memory, with your sleep, with your hormones. And when you need to study, getting 8 hours of sleep is actually so paramount to remembering things. So no wonder you're in a mess right now. But what we're not gonna do is let that boy win twice. Are you kidding? He's already broken your heart. Are you gonna let him break your future? An actual tip I have is to paint a picture in your head. This is actually kind of toxic. Never mind. Actually, I'm gonna tell you. This is actually kind of toxic, but I don't care. Paint a picture in your head that makes you hate him. So there's two ways you can go about this, right? You need to either picture him thriving and being so successful while you're failing. Him getting into a university when you can't. Him getting onto the degree that you can't. Him laughing at you because you failed. Like, ha ha ha, I left her, now she's even more broken. Ha ha ha. Do you want that? No, that's going to make you angry. It should make you angry. And the second thing you could do is make you hate him. Imagine a scenario where he's done you so dirty that all you can do is think about the pain. I don't care what it takes. Make a list of how much you hate him, of all the things that he's ever done that are unattractive. Give yourself the ick. Hating him is the only way forward. The next technique I'm going to tell you about is called time boxing. Time boxing is when you let yourself grieve because it's going to happen. No, you can't suppress the emotion. No, you can't sit there and be like, oh, this isn't happening to me. It is. So you're going to let yourself cry and grieve on a schedule. What I really like to do, which is actually so toxic, I like to hold like a fake funeral for him. I don't care if that's crazy and you think I'm weird. I don't give a shit. It really helps. So give yourself 30 minutes to literally just feel your feelings and cry. I don't care how much stress you're in, how much you have to get done. Trust me, you going about it this way instead of wasting 30 minutes staring at your textbook because you cannot compartmentalize. This is the method that's actually going to work and is actually the one that you don't want to do because you think you're running out of time, but realistically it's the only one that's going to work for you. Write it all out, get it out your head, and once it's out, once you're ready, give yourself permission. And I want you to ask yourself, because I love doing this, I love consent, I love giving myself consent, like, are we ready to study? And my body says yeah, let's go. Because then it's a conscious decision. You're not just sitting there waiting for the inspiration and the motivation and the, oh my god, I'm ready now to study. You're actually telling yourself, hey, we're ready to go. But make sure at the end of you crying, you go and look at your ick list. That's the only thing that's going to help you actually reinforce the idea that this man was evil. Because he probably most likely was. And you know what? If you're the one who's in the wrong in this breakup, I don't give a shit. You're not. You have to tell yourself you're not. Just for a bit. I don't care. You can deal and process with your little breakup later. But right now is not the time for therapy, okay? You cannot afford to waste time right now. Next, you're going to romanticize revenge and your villain arc. You know what? You need to step into the role of being a villain. I am tired of people hating the villain edit. It's so fun to be a villain. It's so fun. You need to realize that you are going to have the time of your life after this. After you've done crying and you're done being sad, you're going to love your life. And all of these sad, bad feelings, fine. Let them come. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to change them into something that's going to drive me forward. I'm going to get higher grades than I've ever got in my life, and it's going to be because of you. How do you feel about that? How do you feel that you just broke my heart and I got an A-star out of it? You're going to feel terrible about yourself. Even if that man doesn't love you anymore, he regrets letting you go because he does not want you to win. He doesn't want you to get that A-star. But now, he just enabled you to get your dream life. I hope he feels good about himself. The next one is called blocking him and putting him in a box. That's literally what I'm calling it. Neurologically, you're only going to miss him because, number one, you were in a loop with him, a psychological dopamine loop where he made you so happy. That's the only thing you derived enjoyment from, like sick and twisted. And secondly, because of memories and repetitive reinforcement. Both of these things mean that he was constantly on your mind and your brain is literally seeing him as a drug. So what we're going to do is remove one, put everything that reminds you of him in a box. Put it away. We're going to literally lock it away. We're not going to have it anymore. Because every time you look at that shit, you're going to think of him. Okay? And the less you have to remind yourself, the better. You're going to block him out of sight, out of mind, on social media. I don't care if you're friends. Don't be friends. What the hell? Don't be friends with the ex. That's weird. Just delete his number. Don't even engage with the idea of him. He's not real. He died. Remember? We held a funeral for him. I also like to do like a physical ritual. Like I'll just burn a page or something and be like, okay, we're done. We're physically closing this chapter. Take it out of your mind and into the real world and be like, we're done, baby girl. Have you ever felt like I am the worst when it comes to heartbreak because I'm such a lover girl. I just love love. I love being in love. And when relationships end for me, I'm like, oh my god, my world is crumbling apart. Like, I can't do it. But eventually you get over it. You get through it. And you need to realize that right now you're in a phase. You're just in a phase. You'll be fine. Okay. You know, the last point to remember is you're not crazy, you're healing. You're literally just healing. You're going to look back at this version of you and be like, okay, I did so good. I actually smashed this because, you know what, once I was going through heartbreak in exam season and I was sitting 21 exams, 21. And I smashed that shit out. Which reminds me, the last chapter I'm going to talk about is actual exam techniques that you can use. So number one, it's the most obvious, all-nighters. Now these are going to be so much easier. I like to do them and I encourage you to do them. If they probably shouldn't, but you know, you're not going to sleep anyway. Let's be so for real. Like, you're not going to go back into the 8 hours of sleep, happy schedule for a long time. Do you know why? Because your brain is literally dying. It's on fire. You're going to have racing, endless thoughts. I mean, you're going to have racing thoughts all night. What do you mean you're going to sleep by 11? You're not. So realistically, just use this time to distract yourself since you want to do that anyway by scrolling and being on your phone. Just go to your local library and pull an all-nighter there. I used to take all my stuff and get out of my room because that's the best thing you can do, especially if, like, you have, like, stuff in your room, like pictures of him. You used to have, I don't know, reminders of him. Just get yourself out of that room and live in your library. It's the equivalent of moving out, especially when I was in uni and I lived in student accommodation. I would just change. Like it's like living in a new house for free. Like the library was my house, rent free. What are you gonna do? Kick me out? I have a student card that lets me in. What are you gonna do? And plus it has free coffee there, so even better. So I would just plan all-nighter and get everything done in the night. And then if I needed to, I'll take a nap in the day and sleep then. But it's just gonna be a fact that you're not gonna be sleeping much. So you take advantage of that and do more than the average person is, because you know what, you have more motivation and reasons to be angry than the average student in your class. Like, what reason do they have to be angry? None. Okay? You're heartbroken and you're feeling all these shitty feelings inside. You might as well make the most of it. Also, I also have a life manual coming up where I talk about it. So you know what? Leave a comment down below if you found this helpful, and I will send it to you if you message me. Okay? So I love you guys so much.